Damian Lillard. He's on everybody's mind. He's been trending on Twitter because he wants a chance to win a championship. But he also wants to stay in Portland. And so he was hoping that the Blazers would trade their number 3 pick and get a veteran star who could help them compete in the West. And they didn't do it. Instead, they drafted Scoot Henderson, who is, by all accounts, a promising young point guard. So now today we have reports from Chris Haynes, friend of the show, saying that Damian Lillard and his agent Aaron Goodwin met with the Blazers today to discuss the situation. And I would not be surprised. We haven't gotten any reports yet. But I got to be honest, Ephraim, I think ultimately he will be traded because it's best for him and for the Blazers. But I wouldn't be surprised if coming out of this, there is news that, well, they're going to see how things go or they're going to take their time. Because I really don't think Damian Lillard wants to be traded. And I think he is obviously a competitor and he wants to win. But it just doesn't seem like that's the ultimate thing to him because the teams he has named, the 2 most prominent teams or 2 top teams he's named for where he would go is the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But here's what I want to hit you with. What do you think, first of all, of this situation with Lillard and the Blazers? You think they should move on, part ways? And the talk is that we'll get to Miami and whether or not they should send him there. But what are your general thoughts on this situation with Dame?
Number one, I'm a huge Damian Lillard fan. I think he's a superstar. I think his intangibles, it's that Northern Cali thing, right? It's that, prove everybody wrong.
Where you from?
I grew up in
Cali?
L.A. and then up in Sacramento.
Okay.
But
All right.
I understand that swagger of the Bay Area, right? And he the best athlete, lyricist, rapper on the planet Earth. Dame Dollar is what they call him.
For athlete lyricist, yeah. That's fair.
And I want to see Dame Lillard in the playoffs. I want to see him deep in the playoffs. I want to see that level of talent on the biggest stage because I think we deserve, as fans, we deserve to see that.
And he deserves it.
He deserves it.
Right. As good as he is.
It's not going to happen in Portland.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen in Portland. And Dame is loyal. He said himself, if you think me touching almost $400 million and not winning the championship is going to make me feel bad, you lost your mind.
Right.
I've changed my family's, I'm paraphrasing, my family's future forever.
Right.
Generational wealth. But as a competitor, as a player, it burns him up. Remember when the Clippers were laughing and they doing all that, Pat Bev and all of them, they was joking and all of that.
In the bubble.
Right?
Yep.
And then he came out and Dame timed him. you know what I mean?
Right.
It's those things that he thrives on. You need that. As a dynamic player, you need to be pushed. You want to be playing against the best teams in the league in the summer. You want to have an opportunity and a chance to have a shot at winning a title or being a part of a team that can win a title. And it's just not going to happen in Portland.
No. And any thought that it was going to happen with whatever they got for the number 3 pick was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying he don't want to be traded because you knew you weren't getting enough.
Right.
But so he's talking Miami, and there were, over the weekend, there was the meme of him at a club. I think he was even overseas. I think he might have been in Europe. Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong. And he was at a club where they were playing Welcome to Miami by Will Smith, and that went viral. And Jimmy Butler, tweeted something about, or Instagram, one of them, about Dame and one of his albums out there, so they're obviously trying to get him to Miami.
Oof.
And they would be nice.
The East would be in trouble.
Yeah, I think they would be the favorites. Look, Milwaukee, Boston, they'd have a shot, but the favorites, I believe, would be Miami with Dame, Butler, and Bam. But here's the thing. If I'm Boston, the last thing I want is Damian Lillard going to Miami, because we have enough trouble with them when Gabe Vincent is running the point, and Max Strus, let alone Dame Dollar. And I think Dame would help them if they could offer a Jaylen Brown for Jimmy Butler. For Damian Lillard. Philadelphia could offer a Tyrese Maxey and a Tobias Harris for Damian Lillard. I'm saying this, Ephraim. If I'm Portland, yeah, I want to work with you, Dame, get you to a winning situation, but I am not just going to send you to Miami because that's where you want to go.
I'm not going to just give you away.
Right. And we can I'm not going to send you to Charlotte, but we have to work together, because I got to get some value for you. And I would say this: Tyler Hero would highlight any package from Miami. If I'm Portland, with all due respect to Hero, who's a good player, I don't need him. I've got Shaedon Sharpe, who I want to give time to. I got Anthony Simons. Now we have Scoot Henderson. I don't need Tyler Hero, especially at that money. And so if he's mentioned Brooklyn and Miami, if I'm Portland, I think Brooklyn probably has a little more to offer. I can get a package of a Cam Johnson, maybe a Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe a Nick Claxton. Like, what I like, Ephraim, with young players that are, they're going to grow into stardom, hopefully, for the Blazers, is I want veteran role players. Pros that will be good in the locker room, know their role. They're not going to try to take the shine from the young boys, but they're going to help them. And I think you can get a nice package of that with the Nets.
Yeah, I know Dame said he wants to go to Brooklyn, but if you're going to chase a championship, that ain't it. That's not the stop you want. We saw it not work with a big three several times. This is the second iteration of a big three not working in Brooklyn. So if your design, now if you want to just go to live in New York, that's okay. But if you want to go,
I'm wondering, is he thinking about MCing?
Right. But if you want to go compete, Hot 97 is there. You whatever that is, you can have, Dame Dollar's Freestyle Fridays at Hot 97.
Right.
Breakfast Club is there. All
right.
The off the court stuff is there. But if you're strictly talking about basketball, the Knicks have a better shot than Brooklyn. So I would say I would just cross that off and start really looking at the Miamis or.
Now Chris Haynes, who's close to Dame, has said he doesn't want to go to Boston. Kevin Durant Garnett didn't want to go to Boston either.
Until he did.
And then he did, won a chip, competed for a few others, and then said, my only regret in my entire career is that I didn't go there earlier.
Yeah, it's sometimes how you feel as a player. Like I know I'm not a Boston fan. I'm a Laker guy, right? So I'm not a Boston fan. So I'm like, ugh. In the league, I wasn't a Raiders fan because I was a Bronco. So I used to always tell my agent, yo, I'm doing free agency. Yeah, I'm not going to the Raiders.
If the money was right.
Now, see, that's a different conversation. right? That's a different conversation. Now those feelings that we have, those emotions that we have, now they don't make sense.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, because then you get to say, oh, this is the house the Raiders built, right? When you add a wing onto your house, or this the Phantom,
right, exactly. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so let's throw out, I think 3 contenders in the East should go for Dame. Miami, and I think they actually, more so than Miami, have pieces that would be better for Portland. But let's say Philadelphia, Boston, and Miami. Where would you prefer to see Dame?
Miami. I would prefer to see him there, but I would love to see him in Philly with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I would love to see that, because now you got inside outside. Well, Embiid doesn't play inside really. You got.
I hope he was watching Jokic this
brother.
June.
It's simple.
Yes.
It is simple.
Yes.
It's not rocket science, and I love the big stretching the floor and shooting threes. I love it, but that's not what you need.
Right.
In a league of shooters, everyone can shoot.
Yep.
But what can't everybody do? They can't put people in the rim.
Yep.
When that game, I think it was game 3 in L.A., Lakers versus Denver, and there was a few seconds left on the clock, and it was tied. What happened?
Yep.
They gave the ball to the Joker, and he went right to the post.
He knew what to do.
Bang, 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 easy bucket, let's go.
Yep. Nah,
that's the superpower. You being 7'2", 300 pounds, shooting the 3, that's not like, ooh.
Right.
Hey, man.
I've said it for years, Ephraim. He, to a large degree, Joel Embiid plays like he's 6'5".
Yes, he does. Which takes away from his effectiveness.
Yes,